We all have movies we watch over and over again that we don't tell other people about. If we happen to catch one while channel surfing, we will watch it if no one else is around. We know these movies are flawed, but we enjoy them anyway. I am the Ranting Usher, and in this video, I'll be counting down my top 5 most embarrassing nostalgic film favorites. Let me talk you to your seat. Here are some honorable mentions: Flight of the Navigator, Beetlejuice, My Cousin Vinny, Last Action Hero, and Gremlins 2. Number 5. Ghostbusters 2. Ivan Reitman's 1989 addition to the Paranormal Eliminators franchise is not as good as the original. Peter Venkman's and Dana Barrett's domestic disputes are arbitrary. Oscar, although he is adorable, contributes a light-hearted quality, offsetting the dark undertones and sardonic humor that made the film's predecessor so great. However, Peter MacNicol adds a fresh twist to the series with his portrayal of thick-accented and exuberant oddball art teacher Dr. Janusz Poha. When Janusz is possessed by Vigo the Carpathian, MacNicol proves he is equally adept at playing sinister while still delivering the quirks that initially endeared us to him. Dr. Janusz Poha is truly an engaging character. The Scoleri Brothers sequence is also exciting and lots of fun to watch. It serves as a throwback that is reminiscent of the Ghostbusters encounter with Slimer in the first film. Those are some of the highlights that keep me tuned in to Ghostbusters 2. Number 4. Raising Arizona. On the surface, this 1987 dark comedy, directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, appears absurd, with abstract camera angles and a talented cast overplaying their roles to fit an outrageous tone. When Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter, portraying a childless couple, snatch a boy of quintuplets and attempt to raise him as their own, the story seems like it could only have been conjured by amateur directors. If you are willing to look deeper and indulge in the absurdity, you will discover the movie's better than what it appears. You will find multi-layered truths concerning human nature and society's ills that we cannot deny. You'll find an in-depth look at the vulnerabilities of the human conscience, dreams, and family values, which are well depicted and well written. There are many hilarious scenes that will leave you clutching your sides. All of those elements are what earned Raising Arizona a cult following. They make the movie great. Number 3. The Last Dragon. This 1985 African-American martial arts action comedy drama, directed by Michael Schultz, references other movies of the same genre. These references are so awesome they distract from the central plot. Our hero, Leroy Green, Timac, strives to obtain the glow, a supreme level of martial arts mastery. The relationship between master and student couldn't be more similar to Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san in The Karate Kid. The characters and situations in The Last Dragon could not be more stereotypical. Vanity, a beautiful singer, becomes a damsel in distress. No surprises there. Eddie Arcadian, Christopher Murney, is a record label producer who I believe may have been based on the founder of Motown, Berry Gordy. Eddie Arcadian also happened to be a corrupt record label producer. What a compliment! The major antagonist, Shonuff, played by Julius Carry, has no depth or redeeming qualities whatsoever. He's just a badass. Admittedly, the fight scenes in The Last Dragon are well choreographed. While references to other martial arts movies may be distracting, I very much appreciate throwbacks to Bruce Lee. He was an idol of mine. The Last Dragon is pure, unadulterated 80s cheese. Director Michael Schultz delivers an endearing message about how love and self-actualization conquers all. For all these reasons, The Last Dragon is definitely worth watching. Number 2. Dick Tracy. Movies based on comics are risky. Actor-director Warren Beatty was no doubt warned of the risks involved in shooting a 1990 on-screen adaptation of Chester Gould's classic comic strip. The plot involves Tracy having an affair with singer Breathless Mahoney, complicating his relationship with Tess Trueheart, and going to war in the streets with the mob. Clearly, Beatty struggled to determine which story elements to include and which ones were most important. The film lacks a central focus. While it may still be easy to follow, the overall story is not exactly memorable. Not only did Beatty take a huge risk adapting and directing Dick Tracy, but also in starring as the lead role opposite Al Pacino. Really, Beatty? You think you can outshine Pacino? As the gangster, Pacino steals every scene he appears in. That's actually one of the things I love about the movie. Tremendous effort was put into creating the look and tone of Dick Tracy. No other movie looks and feels like this. The sets, colors, cinematography, costuming, and makeup are amazing. Watching this movie is like watching an artist's conception of a comic strip unfold on a theatrical canvas. Not all the risks taken with Dick Tracy pay off, but those that do make the film visually extravagant and exciting to watch. My number 1 most embarrassing nostalgic film favorite is The Burbs. Director Joe Dante takes a sardonic look at small-town life in this 1989 comedy thriller. Tom Hanks, playing the overworked and skeptical suburbanite, along with his 2 buddies, are convinced that the Klopeks, the new family in town, are a cult of ritual killers. Tom Hanks and his neighbors are determined to prove it. The premise may sound far-fetched. However, there is a lot of truth exposed concerning human paranoia when faced with an irrational situation. I love movies that address dark underlying truths that most people don't want to think about and poke fun at them. The contrast between humor and horror is well balanced. When the film gets as dark as PG in the 80s would allow, the jokes are a great relief and cleverly timed. While Hanks' character and his neighbors seek to uncover the truth about the Klopeks, despite Carrie Fisher insisting they are overreacting, you find you root for them. You want them to be right. You may even relate to them. I know I can. I was suspicious of my neighbors growing up. I sensed unsettling vibes coming from their house. My friends and I conjured theories about them, just like Hanks and his neighbors did in the movie. Those theories may have been outlandish, even insane, but all these years later, I can't help but wonder whether or not there was truth in any of them. That's why The Burbs ranks number 1 on my list. The Burbs has earned a modest cult following, and rightfully so. It will always be a favorite of mine. Do you agree with my list? What movies will you watch if no one else is around? Are you willing to share them? If so, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Ranting Usher. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to click like, subscribe, and have a great day.